Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today I am bringing you the process video for day 3 of the 12 days of Christmas. If you haven't gotten a chance, please check out all the other ladies. The link for the next person on the hop will be listed below in the description. And today what I'm bringing for you is kind of a scrap bashing layout. It's inspired by layouts again that I've seen on Pinterest. And I'm basically picked out a handful of different scraps from my scrap bin, and I am using a 2-inch circle punch. This one I bought back years ago from Creative Memories. And I'm just going to go ahead and cut out a couple circles from each of the patterns, and I'm going to basically make a wreath out of it. The picture I'm using for today is just me and my daughter and some friends. We go annually down to the Christmas market in Chicago and have lunch at Macy's. So this is our annual picture in front of the Christmas tree, and it's a good tradition for us, and so I want to make it a special layout. And I did leave all the circle cutting in because I really wanted you to see all the different various patterns that we're using. And again, it's just a great way to use up those scraps that you have in your bin. So I tried to stick mainly with items that were text print or more of the solid base or had some of the flowers. I do have the Santa and the holly, but like the one with the stockings, I didn't use that one. And I tried to keep it more of the earth tones. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to ink the edges of all the circles using the Tim Holtz Distressed Ink in Walnut Stain. And I won't make you watch me do all this. So through the magic of editing, I'm going to show you the pile all done. But it does define each of the circles, especially since I'm using so many patterns. And I did try and put it on more of a plain background because of the busyness of the patterns of the wreath. So to make my circle not be wonky, I got out the good old grade school compass that I've had forever, found the center point of my page, and I just made an 8-inch round circle, and I'm using that as a guide for placing all of my circles. My photo I am going to have in the bottom left hand corner, so I'm going to start down there and start adhering it all, and then I'll meet up on the other side. And I just tried not to duplicate any of the patterns until I went through all of them, and then I repeated in the same order, finishing up the rest of the wreath. And I think it turned out pretty good. And I tried to vary the colors, to sprinkle a little bit of green and a little bit of the plainer backgrounds to kind of rest your eyes from the busyness of the different colors. And in the middle of doing this, I ran out of my ATG, so I'm going to have to finish up the rest of this layout using my score tape. So now I'm going to go ahead and mat my photo, and I decide to use this burgundy reddish colored text print, and I'm just going to give it a thin border. And then I do find a plaid, and I'm going to use the plaid. I thought about using the border strip up at the top, but I changed my mind. And actually I don't use plaid, I use a plain red. But it's got a little bit of a glitter, so it kind of gives it a little definition from behind. The plaid part I'm going to bring in is actually with my tissue. I have a black and white check tissue paper. I think I got it at probably Michael's, and I just tore a hunk off of that, and I'm just going to use that to back my photo, and I'm going to rip the edges. I like the look of that. And I'm just kind of gluing down all the layers. And here I'll go ahead and rip it all. And the top part didn't rip really good, so I actually ripped the whole piece off, and then I went and turned it around so that it had a good ripped edge at the top as well. And this is where I change my mind on that border strip, and I decide that I'm going to go ahead and mat it on black paper. So I take 1/4 of an inch off of each side, and then I'm going to gut the black cardstock to a 1-inch frame, and I'll save the center for something later. And I'm going to use the score tape to glue it down. This stuff is really super sticky. If you ever get to like a scrapbook expo and you can pick some of this up, it's great, but it's definitely not forgiving. So if you make any kind of a mistake at all, you're not getting it back up. The ATG actually has a little bit of forgiveness if you don't press it hard until the end, and you can kind of maneuver. But with this score tape, once it's down, it's down. There's no moving it. And I like how it frames out. It brings the layout in, and it kind of frames that whole wreath look and makes it, like it belongs. So now I grab a white doily out of my stash. I'm going to use that as another layering piece underneath the tissue. And then what I'm going to do is use my stickers sheets to finish the embellishing. Now I do grab a tag out of my stash, and the red was too bright, so I just grabbed a piece of that scrap paper that I'd used previously, and I just go ahead and cut my own tag using the red one as a template. And I'll use my hole punch, and then I have from just an office store hole reinforcers that I'll throw in over the hole in the tag. And I'm going to go ahead and start building a cluster down there, and I don't like how it's kind of spread out. I know I want the number 6 because we went to Chicago on the 6th of December, and I grabbed this Believe, and I like where that looks on the wreath. And I start sprinkling these chipboards around because, you see a wreath, a lot of times they decorate them with little bits like pine cones and things. It just didn't look right, so these are actually going to all come off. And when I go into my sticker sheet, what I'm actually going to find is a tag that says Merry and Bright, and it's more of a up and down shape. So what I end up doing is using that and then turning the craft snowflake tag up and down as well, and that looks so much better. I'm also sprinkling around the wreath. It was little sequin stickers, stars, and some holly. And I'm just trying to make it look like you had decorated a wreath. And here's where I switched everything up. And now I'm going to tuck the tags in more up and down versus across. And it flows better across the page, whereas before it was kind of looking chopped up with some of my embellishments. And now I'm able to take and spread the embellishments across, so the number 6 is tucked in, and then I'm able to pull in the Happy Holiday sticker, and then I get my bow at the bottom. And here's where I'm going to continue to sprinkle items from the 12 by 12 sticker sheet. I use these 2 banners up at the top corner. And I was able to use all of the sequins, stars, and holly off of that 12 by 12 sticker sheet, just spreading it around on the page. I also find a sticker that says December, and and then on the Simple Stories, you'll see I'll bring in the Simple Stories sheet, and I get a Very and Bright to go up at the top. And it just is a nice way of just kind of decorating as if it was a wreath hanging on your front door. So I want to encourage you to check out all of the other ladies that are doing the hop for the next 12 days. A lot of great YouTubers. everyone is in their description is linking to the next video, so make sure you go below and click on their video to follow along in the hop each day. It's a great way to inspire. I know that a lot of people do December daily, but I tend to scrap with a 12 by 12. And even if I do a December daily, I'm still doing a 12 by 12 layout. So I do like having these inspiring videos that everyone's putting up to help me. And even like Pinterest, it's just a great way for everyone to help the community out with getting ideas. And this is a great one for, like I said, using up the scraps and some of your older supplies. So here I'm taking my star punch and I'm punching out some gold, it's like a gold foil cardstock, and just adding a few more blingy stars to the layout. I'm using my my fine line bottle that has quick dry adhesive to adhere those down. And the last thing I'm going to do on the layout is I'm going to get out my Heidi Swap Color Shine, and I'm going to sprinkle it around the layout. I want to thank you so much for taking the time to watch my video. I'm going to have a few close-ups at the end. If you haven't subscribed already, I would love to have you as a subscriber. Hit the bell button so you can be notified when a new layout comes out. And again, follow along on the hop and get some great inspiration from all the other YouTubers that are joined in for the 12 days. Thank you so much, and here are some close-ups for you. Have a great holiday.